Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kaylee. This will be a piercings video. I don't know if I'll make one for my nose piercing, but I get a ton of questions asking about my tongue piercing. If you don't know, I have a tongue piercing and I get a ton of questions always asking about it. Pain, do you take it out? What do you do? Should I get one? So I will just go over as much as I can. Obviously, I'm not a professional piercer. I don't even have that many piercings. Also keep in mind that everyone's experience with tattoos, piercings, whatever, is different. So my experience might be different from your experience, but personally, I think I definitely had it a lot easier than other people. So if you're interested, or you're just curious, or I don't know what your reason is, and you want to know more about tongue piercings, then just keep watching. One of those common questions that I get asked is, does it hurt? So ask anyone who has a tongue piercing, they will always say that tongue piercings are the least painful piercings that they have. If they have a tongue piercing, most likely they have other piercings. Obviously, it's not always the case, but for me, it didn't really hurt that much. You feel a pinch. You just feel like the needle going through your tongue. I know how squeamish that sounds, but it doesn't hurt that bad. I've gotten my nose pierced twice. I've had it done and then I had to take it out for a reason. I'll make a different video on it, but I've got it pierced twice, and getting my nose pierced hurts more than getting my tongue pierced. Sorry if you hear my tongue crying. It doesn't hurt that bad. To be honest, my Biko keeps crying. To be honest, my nose hurt a lot more than getting my tongue pierced. That is just the initial pain of getting your tongue piercing. It's what comes after. For most people, if you watch other people's tongue piercing videos, they will always say that getting it hurt or getting it pierced didn't hurt, or it like barely hurt, but the healing is hell. Everybody, or most people that I've seen before I got my tongue pierced, I watched a ton of people's vlogs, their videos on tongue piercings. Most of them say that it was like living hell going through the healing process after getting your tongue pierced. So personally for me, I was so scared of that, but to be honest, the healing wasn't that bad. So what to expect for after you get your tongue pierced is that it'll just be a lot of swelling. You want to avoid like citrusy stuff. I've seen a couple people say that you should avoid dairy. My piercer personally didn't tell me that, but again, every piercer is different. It depends on what place you go. I didn't avoid dairy, I just avoided citrus or things that are spicy so you don't irritate a fresh piercing. So it won't swell up and make the swelling process longer, which obviously you don't want that. But personally for me, it was just a little sore. I had a lisp for a while, and the swelling lasts about like 4-ish days, and it is a little harder to eat solid food, so most people eat softer food like soup, other stuff like that, something a little soft so it's not super hard, it won't irritate it. It wasn't super bad in my opinion, but a lot of people said that they struggled with the healing process. But everyone's different. Again, I think I was very fortunate enough to have an easier process with that. Hopefully that answers any pain questions when it comes to getting your tongue pierced. First, I'm not that great with pain, so getting it pierced was like, I don't know, like a 2 or a 3, like a 2. Because I think a lot of it was like I was tense because I was so nervous to get it, guys. When I tell you I was literally shaking and sweating profusely, which sounds so gross. I was literally sweating and shaking, and oh my god, it was so weird. But right after I got it pierced, it felt so weird to close my mouth. But guys, you'll be talking super weird for the next like 3 days. So I suggest if you have a job or whatever, or you're going to a vacation, whatever, get your tongue pierced ahead of time or take some time off, maybe like 4-ish days. Because if you have a job where you have to talk to people, probably don't want to get that done because it's really hard to talk. It'll be uncomfortable. Some risks that you need to expect when having a tongue piercing, especially when it's metal. Mine is metal, like that. You can get acrylic tongue rings, but it always is suggested to get acrylic tongue rings just so it won't be as damaging to your mouth. So what you should expect is be careful. no matter what it is. Having a regular tongue piercing, especially metal, you can chip your tooth if you accidentally bite on it or something like that. But yeah, I have a tendency to like play with it. So I have had like a little tiny chip right here, but it's really not that noticeable. I just looked at it when I was like looking really closely. But just know that there are some risks to having a tongue piercing, such as chipping your teeth or having a lisp. Some people do. I personally don't, but you know, just make sure you keep that in mind. Another thing is people ask me, do you take it out when you eat? That people ask me that a lot more often than you would think. No, you don't. You keep it in, and it's not that hard to eat with it. You know, you just get used to it. It is weird at first, but you definitely get used to it. Now when I take it out to change it, it's super weird not having it in my mouth. Another thing to note if you're gonna get it pierced, be ready for people to judge you. I know it's stupid. Some people just are judging people, whether that's just overall about tattoos and piercings. Some people can be really judgy about tongue piercings considering it's in your mouth, and there's like a stigma with it that, you know, oh, if you have it, all you're doing is just so you can do sexual favors, and you know, they'll get the wrong idea of you. That's just, so it's stupid. I didn't get it for anyone else but myself. You would think it's hard to hide your tongue piercing, but if this is a piercing you want to hide from your parents, to be honest, pretty easy to hide. I hid it for a while. If you just talk like this and you don't open your mouth too much, not a whole lot of people are going to pay attention and notice that you have a tongue piercing. Now that my parents know and they found out, I just talk like this and I don't really care because they know and I don't need to hide anymore. Hi, this is the future Kaylee editing this video. I messed up this part, but I was essentially trying to say that there are so many different types of tongue rings that you can get. There's clear ones, there's colorful ones, there's more subtle ones if you want to hide it but still want to keep a piercing in. I just don't even know if I knew how to speak at this point, but it just didn't make sense even if I try to edit it, so that's what I meant. This one is just like a basic silver one. I have a bunch of tongue rings. They're upstairs and I'm too lazy to get them. But this is a basic tongue ring. It's just silver. It's not my original one that I got pierced with. It does not hurt to change it out to replace your tongue ring. You just unscrew the top ball or the bottom ball, whatever. Take it out, screw it back on, put your new one in, bottom up, screw it, whatever. If you are getting your tongue pierced, just expect it doesn't hurt that bad. Relax, breathe, just let it happen. It'll be over before you know it. The bar will be really long compared to the one that you'll have when you replace it. The bar is a lot shorter just to allow room for swelling, because if you don't and you have a regular bar, then it'll just, like, your tongue will just basically swallow like your piercing. Just they'll put a long one in. Hi guys, I'm future Kelly Zach. So I also realized that I did film some footage from the day or technically the night that I got my tongue pierced. So I will just insert that now. Okay, so it's Saturday night. I met my friend Eve.
Hi.
And we're at a tattoo and piercing place, and I just sat down to get it. I'm really nervous. I'm sweating, I'm shaking, and I'm really second guessing it, and I don't know if I could do it. But
you can. You can.
I'm really nervous.
She's gonna do it because I'm gonna make her. So.
Guys, look at. Oh my god. Okay, so we're back at Eve's house. I have a slight lisp. It's really hard to talk. I'm not really sure what to think. Right now it's just sore. It's not like it hurts, like it's pain, but it's just like sore. It just aches. So I just took like some Tylenol, or I don't know what I took, but something to help with it.
Heck yeah.
Is my tongue. I have some swelling. Nothing too bad. I always say the second day is the worst. I don't know if it's the day after you get it or it should be tomorrow. It just hurts when I talk a little bit, so I just have to be careful. I do have a little bit of a lisp, and yeah, just some swelling, so not too bad. Hello vlog, another update. Sorry if I sound a little funny. Obviously you know why. I ate solid food today. I ate grilled cheese and some ice cream as well. That was rough. Definitely not fun. Here's my tongue. It has definitely swelled up a lot. Even earlier today is a little more swollen than it was before. Still not terribly bad. My tongue does not really feel painful until I talk. Not terrible. I'm not miserable, but it does suck eating, so there's that. Also, a note, a tongue piercing is one of the fastest healing piercings you can ever get. I swear it is so easy. You don't need to do anything. Just be careful about what you eat. Just be careful and it will heal literally in like 2 weeks. Once that swelling is done, after like a good 2 weeks, it's it. Like that's done. So compared to like a nose piercing or an ear piercing, whatever, your tongue, because any piercing in your mouth is going to heal really fast. You know, if you have sores or whatever, like it only lasts a couple of days. Everything heals really fast inside your mouth. So getting a tongue piercing, it's a breeze. Like it seriously is a breeze. And you wouldn't think so, and a lot of people don't think so. And they can be really painful, but it really isn't. I promise it's easy. Just get through the first couple days and you will be good to go. Personally, I love my tongue piercing. I play with it all the time. I do that all the time, and people are always like, Kaylee, put your tongue away. Kaylee, why do you always play with your tongue? Because I like to, and it's fun. If you're thinking about it, totally do it. I think it's super cool. I think it's a super cute piercing. But yeah, I mean, I hope this video helped and answered some questions. Obviously, I'm not a professional. Everyone's experience is different, so don't take my word for this completely. You might have a different experience. I have no idea, but I'm just sharing my experience just in case you're thinking about it and you just need some help with that. If you have any other questions, make sure to DM me on Instagram. I'll put all my social media handles below. And thank you guys. I love you, and I will talk to you later.